Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is Prospecting Course, and thank you for being here with me today. My name is Robert Rodriguez. I'm with the Miami Association of Realtors. I'm one of your trainers. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to either unmute yourselves or ask in the chat. I normally will monitor the chat and see the questions coming in. This is a class of prospecting using Remine, which is one of your tools that are available to you as a member of the Miami Association of Realtors. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started with our course. All right, folks. So this is really one of my favorite classes that we have. Remine is such an amazing prospecting tool available both on your computer and also on your mobile device. So for your mobile device, you can always download Remine Mobile and you can start using it on your phones. Today, we're going to talk about Remine and the prospecting inside of your computer. So how do we access this as a Miami member? You're going to log in through your Miami Gateway, which is at MiamiRealtors.com. You click on the top where it says log in with Miami Gateway, or you drop down to the left and you click on Miami Gateway. Once inside the gateway, you are going to find Remine Pro, which is right here. All right, you're going to click on Remine Pro. That's going to get you logged into the database. All right, so when you log in, it's going to log you into the daily dashboard, which is more like a homepage. All right, and then on the left, you do have search, which is where we're going to concentrate our efforts today in training on the search option. So let's go ahead and click on search. You do have here the ability to search public record and also MLS listings. So for MLS listings, you're going to select listings, and that gives you the database of our MLS. You're able to find any properties for sale or for rent. And if you click on properties, that taps into the public record. So you do have access to public records nationwide. As long as you mark nationwide here at the top, you're able to search properties outside of Florida in the United States. So you want to always keep nationwide up here. So the day that you want to search for a property in, say, New York or Illinois or Georgia, you can always do so by entering the property address at the top. So at the top, you do have an address field, city, zip code, neighborhood, or MLS region. You can search by those factors. All right. Now, before we get started using this, I want you guys to look at the section right here that says add filter. And what I would like for you to do is to locate off market, and you want to select the pin. You want to make sure that the off market filter is always available here at the top. Because when we're prospecting, we're looking for off-market properties. So you want to make sure that you select off-market. Therefore, every property we find from now on in our search is going to be off-market. Next, you want to look to the left and you want to find all the filters that we are going to be using in today's class. You have property value. You're able to identify properties by its value, by its home equity, by ownership time, by sell score, by absentee owner, by flood zone risk, building type, land use. You're also able to identify property by mortgage rate, mortgage age, last sale price, distressed deals, cash buyers, and then there are two additional filters that are only for commercial properties. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go to the very top of our filters. And before I actually select a filter, I want to show you how to identify an area. So let's say that we work in the Miami Shores neighborhood. We're going to go ahead and put in here Miami Shores at the top. We're going to select the city of Miami Shores. And that takes me right to this city right here. And there are 3,711 properties in all of Miami Shores. All right. Now, of course, Miami Shores seems to be a small city, right? It is. If you were working a larger city, then you would have a lot more properties than just 3,711 properties. So you want to make sure that you know how to draw in any particular area that you like to search. So over here on the upper right corner of your map, you do have a polygon, a rectangular shape, and a circle. We're going to go ahead and select a rectangular shape, and I want to draw something like this. All right, let's say that that is the area we want to focus on. Now you can remove the filter for Miami Shores, and you're left with this rectangular shape here of 1,229 properties. All right, we're going to zoom in, and all of your results are on the right-hand side. Now, we want to identify the building type. So let's click on building type on the left, and let's click on single family home. You can also prospect for condos, townhome, multifamily, or other. Let's remain with the single family home, click on apply. And for the most part, every single property in here is a single family home. We're left with 1,112 properties. All right. All of your results are on the right-hand side. Also, if you click on list on the right-hand side, that gets you all of your results in a list format. All right. We're going to go back to map and show you exactly what information you're going to obtain from every property inside of Remine. So let's go ahead and click on one property. And here we have a single family home, which, by the way, you can always enter the address of the property in the search bar at the top, and you can go directly to that property. Okay, so here we have a property that is owned by Santiago Martinez, almost 6 years now. Okay, and they have an estimated equity on the property of $973,000. You're going to notice down here some basic information. Taxes on the property are $13,438. You have here the building features, the taxes on the property. All right, so it is a homestead exemption, and the taxes were $13,438 in the year 2021. Click on See All, and you're going to see here the estimated equity on the property. So based on a valuation of $1,125,000 for this property, they have a loan balance of $152,388. That is 86% equity on the property. These are just estimates, okay? So the valuation is an estimate, the loan balance is an estimate, and the equity is an estimate. The way it's done is like this. The owner took out a mortgage on the property in the year 2018. It was a mortgage worth $163,900 at a 4.4% interest rate with a monthly payment of $821. So when you start applying the principal that the owner has paid every month since the day that he took out his mortgage, the loan now is at $152,388. When you do the difference between the valuation minus the loan balance, you're left with net equity of $973,000. These are very accurate estimates, guys. I invite you to look up your own property and see what the estimated balance is on your loan. And so you can have some confidence in the loan estimates and the equity estimates on each property. Okay. Of course, if the property has no mortgage, then they would have 100% equity on the property. All right. So underneath, you're going to have some information on taxes per year, market values. You're going to have property history. By the way, underneath each property history, you have the ability to check for deed. So you can check the sales deed. You have here mortgage history, evaluation on the property. So the best valuation we can go with is the one that's called First American. That's why we're going by 1,125,000. You got Remine, you got Redfin, you got Zillow. All right. Of course, we all know that Zillow overestimates our properties. This one is coming in at $1,628,000. We're never really going to go with Zillow. First American is the most trusted, service that we can go with for valuation. So that's why when you see up here value of 1,125,000, that equals to the First American valuation. And then I think most importantly, what you guys really want to see is down here that says owner and associated people. We're going to click here and we see here Santiago Martinez is the owner. There is contact information for every single owner inside of Remine. You want to click on contact information, and here we have several phone numbers. Some of the phone numbers are listed on the do not call list. So whenever you see in red letters DNC, that means those phone numbers are registered on the do not call list. And you also get some email addresses for Santiago. So here we have 4 email addresses that we can use to contact the owner of the property. We have several phone numbers as well, all right, that we can use to contact the owner of the property. So all of this information is info you're going to get whenever you have a property in Remine. Going to the upper right corner, you are also able to create a CMA for any property by selecting CMA. So I'm going to take care of this first, show you how to create a CMA, and then we're going to go ahead and start prospecting this area for possible listing leads. So let's click on create a CMA. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,200 square foot home. So we click on create a CMA. We click on create CMA, Remine 360. All right, so right here, we're going to enter the criteria. So again, our property is a 3-2. So we're going to go with a minimum of 3 and a max of 4 bedrooms. We're going to go with a minimum of 2 bathrooms, a max of 3 bathrooms. Our property is 2,200 square feet. So let me go 1,700 square feet as a minimum. And let's go 2,700 square feet as a max. We want to look for single family homes, building type. For listing information, we want to look at active listings. We also want to look at closed on the MLS and closed off the MLS. The time frame, it goes back 6 months. So from today's date, June 6th, it goes back to December 6th. And then we want to look at a half-a-mile radius. Let's select half mile. You can go quarter mile, 1 mile, 3 miles, 5 miles, or custom. This will allow you to draw your own shape. Let's click on search. And now we're going to see several comparables that fit that criteria show up here. All right, so we have a lot of comps. As you can see here, we have 22 comps. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to go back to edit criteria. And we're going to keep it at only 3 bedrooms and at only 2 bathrooms. And then we're going to drop back to quarter mile. And we're going to click on apply. The reason is, of course, we want less comps. Now we have 2 little comps, right? We have 1 closed and 2 closed. All right. And one of them we really can't use at 139,400. So that must be a mistake. So we're going to go back one more time. And I'm going to just stretch this back out to half a mile. Leave it at 3.2. And we do have enough comparables. All right, let's look for that property that sold for $139,000 and let's remove it. We definitely don't need that one. Here's a property that comes in El Portal. We're going to remove that as well. We're only keep Miami Shores, Miami Shores, Miami Shores, Miami Shores, El Portal, remove that one. Miami Shores, Miami, let's remove that one. And El Portal, let's remove that one. So we're now looking at 700,000 as a minimum and 1.3 million as a max. All right, we got 1,120,000, 1,250,000, 1,003,000, 700,000, 875, and 928. If for whatever reason you know that this one here doesn't really compare to our subject property, then remove it, and you are going to improve the value of the property. All right, same thing here. We have a property for 875. Maybe this property does not compare either. Then remove it, Now we have a minimum of 928. When you arrive at the comparables that you are going to select, now you click on save and continue. You want to go ahead and change your color scheme. So there's different color schemes for different offices. Of course, your office is not going to be here. So you want to go with a basic blue and black color, or you can customize your own CMA colors by clicking on custom. I'm just going to go with a blue and black. You can upload your company logo here. All right, so you click there, and we're going to upload my company logo real quick. All right, so now I've got my logo in my CMA, and then my photo's already in here because you will upload your photo in your settings on the lower left corner of your screen where it says your name. All right, we didn't do that today, but that's something that you guys can take care of before you start using the program. Or you can upload your agent photo now from here, and then just click on save and continue. So we're looking at anywhere from 928 to $1.3 million. We have an estimated value of 928,000. That's actually your CMA. You have over here your properties. All right. And then you want to click on print. If you want to print the property, the CMA by clicking on print, this allows you to print a PDF with the images of each property and the sold information for each property. Okay, so all of this is part of your CMA inside of Remine. I wanted to show you exactly how to run a CMA before we actually get started on a prospecting exercises. All right, so now that we know all the information we get for each property and what we can do with the property, now it's time to go back to prospecting. So let's click on search on the left-hand side, and it takes me back to the rectangular shape with the 1,112 properties. If you want to choose this area without using any more filters, and you want to select every single property and create a folder for that area, you're going to select all on the right-hand side, and then you're going to create a cart. So you're going to go to the upper right, click on create cart, and then we're going to come here and I'm going to put in Miami Shores. We're going to create the name Miami Shores, and then you're going to add the 1,112 properties to your cart. All right. So now that you have that many properties in your cart, you can always now go to carts, which is on the left-hand side, and you will see the first cart created in your screen is going to be the Miami Shores cart with the total of 1,112 properties. All right, so here it is. What we're going to do is we're going to select all the properties, and you can always export all the property information, all the owner information with all of their contact information to a spreadsheet. So you can begin by creating a spreadsheet, and you can start making phone calls. You can upload the spreadsheet to your CRM so you can begin sending emails to those property owners. So let's click on export. I'm just going to call this file Shores. And let's go ahead and click on export. And we are exporting now the entire spreadsheet. The spreadsheet does take a few minutes to generate, so the system will alert us once it's ready. If you want to print labels, you can always click on more, and here you're able to generate mailing labels. If you want to send out mailers, you have here the ability to click on send mailers. We're going to give it a name again, Shores. Click on build mailing campaigns. All right, so we're going to go ahead and click on now build mailing campaign. And you have a window that's going to open up, letting you know the different options for you to select postcards and design postcards. So for example, a 4¼ inch by 6-inch postcard is going to cost you $722 for 1,111 pieces. This is to design, print, and mail with the postage included to 1,111 properties. You have 6 by 8.5-inch postcards, and that jumps to $833. And you got 6 by 11-inch postcards, that jumps to $988. You have letters, so you can do letters with letterheads. You can also do yellow letters, and you can do snap aparts. All right, so if you move back to, let's say the 6 by 8.5-inch postcard, and you want to run this, you're gonna click on choose a design. And here you're able to run different campaigns for absentee owners. You're able to do for commercial property, general farming, holiday greetings, holiday cards with envelopes. You're also able to do just listed and just sold cards, new realtor announcements, open houses, renters, and then spring, and then upload your own artwork. I'm gonna go with a general farming option. Here we have postcards that are going to be designed front and back. So when you choose a design that you like, you click on personalize now. Decide whether the mailing address or the property address is going to receive the postcard. Most of us are going to go with the mailing address, right? We're trying to go after the owner. And then also, is it a homeowner's name or the current resident? We're going to go with the homeowner's name. Choose a colored design. So some of the major brokerages are over here on the left-hand side. And then you also have independent colors that you can go with. So choose a color design. And then continue. If you want to preview the design, you can click on refresh preview here. And it's going to refresh the preview based on the colors you chose. When you're ready, you click on next. And then here, you're going to personalize the postcard. You can upload your company logo. You can upload your images. You can go ahead and put in a customer testimonial if you have one, your full name, enter your street address here. Guys, please put in your office address. Don't put in your home address. All right, unless you want to receive mail, return mail or mail at your property. And then enter your phone number here, enter your website address, and then just continue to create the card. Always refreshing here to see the preview of the card. You will have the opportunity to also send yourself a postcard to your home. Okay, so it's great. It's a great option for us. It's the mailer option, and it's right here where it says send mailer. All right, our spreadsheet is now ready. If you look to the lower left under alerts, you will see a red numeral 1. We're going to click there, and you're going to see that Shores is now ready to download. We're going to click on download, and we're going to open up our spreadsheet. All right, so it's opening up the spreadsheet now on my computer, or in my computer. I'm going to go ahead and share that screen with you right now. All right, so you guys are now looking at my spreadsheet. It does have all the information for each property. If you scroll all the way to the right, by the way, it has everything from the mailing address to the property address. It has the sales history. It has tax amounts. It has the market values, the mortgage history, everything. Everything you ever wanted to know about a property is on the spreadsheet. All the way to the right, you're going to see homeowners. You're going to see their email addresses. So this is an excellent, spreadsheet that you guys can upload directly into your CRM, or even if you're doing Facebook or Instagram marketing, you can always go to Facebook and you can create an ad and you can upload a spreadsheet like this, and you can target these owners on social media. And then here we do have some phone numbers. These phone numbers that have a DNC to the right-hand side are on the do not call list, so please do not call those numbers. Otherwise, the rest of the phone numbers that do not carry a DNC are free for you to call, okay? So this is the spreadsheet you're going to get every time you download a cart into your computer and you click on export. All right. So guys, let me know if you have any questions with the spreadsheet. I'm going to only talk about it once before I start running some exercises inside of Remine. No questions? All right. Let's go ahead and open back up the Remine program. Let me share that with you.
Robert, I have a quick question.
Sure.
That spreadsheet, can I save it on my desktop too? Or does it stay inside of the...
No, of course. That spreadsheet, I generated a download. So it's
Okay,
I downloaded it to my computer. It's now mine.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So here is your cart. Now you may ask, how many properties can you have in your carts? So the total amount of properties you're able to store in your carts is 10,000. So if I click on all carts up here, you're going to see that I have well over 5,000 properties already in here, 6,413. So I'm approaching, the limit, right? The limit would be 10,000. If you want to delete a cart, let's say I want to come over here and delete this cart that contains 278 properties. I simply come over here to the name and I click on delete. And then this is going to allow me to delete this cart by typing the word delete in capital letters. Click on delete, and that's going to delete your cart. So you can clean up your cart anytime by just selecting a cart and deleting the cart up here. All right, and you can remove some of the properties that you have in your cart. Carts are great for you guys who are prospecting, little neighborhoods of 200 and 300. Do not add a whole city like Miami Shores and then go ahead and add another city like Aventura, because what's going to happen is you're going to fill up your cart. Okay, so reality is that I should also remove Miami Shores because that's 1,112 properties. Once I downloaded the spreadsheet, right? And once I did my mailers, and then once I did my labels, I can go ahead and just remove the spreadsheet altogether. Not the spreadsheet, sorry, the cart. Of course, if this is a neighborhood that you're going to be prospecting every month, then I don't recommend that you delete the cart. All right. Let's go back to search now. All right, so we're going to remain right here. And now let's start to prospect, but let's try to find possible leads. So we're going to go with one very good one, and that is ownership time. If we want to focus our efforts on owners that have been at their property for more than 20 years, you're going to click on 20 years plus, click on apply. We are now left with 289 properties. So right there, you're able to create a cart that says Miami Shores 20 years plus, and you know that these owners have had, 20 plus years of living there, owning the property. And perhaps some of them are empty nesters ready to move and downsize. So again, the ownership time becomes very important. You can combine your filters. So for example, if I come here to absentee owner and I do owner occupant, right? We select owner occupant and click on apply. 264 out of the 289 owners that have been at their property for 20 plus years are owner occupied. These are not absentee owners. Okay, so again, here you can just select all the results, create a cart, and now you know how you're going to approach these owners. There are owners that, quite frankly, they're possible empty nesters, and maybe they're looking to downsize. You want to know another way that you can combine this? We're going to keep it owner occupied and we're going to keep it 20 years plus. You want to go to the left and you want to select maybe the mortgage age and say people with no mortgage. Click on apply. I am now down to 100 owners. That's 100 owners that have owned their property since the year 2002, that live at the property, and they have zero mortgage, 100% equity on their property. So you can see how you can use all of these filters to really, get the results that you're looking for, okay? If you want to clean out some of these filters, simply come over here and say, let's get rid of the mortgage age. Let's get rid of the owner occupant. Let's get rid of the ownership time. I'm back to the 1,112 properties. If I click on mortgage age again and it has no mortgage, out of the 1,112, the number is 274 owners that have no mortgage. So they own their house outright, free and clear of any debt. And you guys can go ahead and prospect them, see if anyone here is ready to list their property. Okay. All right. I don't think I need to remind you, our inventory is very low in the MLS, and we need listings. So let's try and communicate to these owners and see who's ready to sell their property. All right. So let's remove the mortgage age. Let's go back to the top and let's click on ownership time again. If you want to go even further out than 20 years, say you want to go 30 years. So you're going to go minimum 30 years, click on apply. We've got 132 owners that have been at their property since the year 1992. All right, that's 30 years. So there's even a greater chance that these people are empty nesters. Okay. And I have to believe that if they've been here 30 years, for the most part, these owners are mortgage free. So, well, I'm down to 71 results from 132. So about 50 of them have taken out a mortgage on their property. Okay. So we've got 71 owners there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and remove the mortgage age and remove the ownership time. And let's go to absentee. Let's go to absentee. If you want to target owners that live in Florida, but do not live on the property, then you're going to click on absentee in state. And we've got 27 absentee owners who live in Florida. If you click on any property, you will see the mailing address. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. We have an absentee owner, and the owner actually lives in Surfside. All right, so they own this property in Miami Shores, but they live in Surfside. If you go back to the absentee and you do absentee outside of Florida, I am left with 10 results. These are properties, okay, where the owner lives in another state or even another country. All right, so let's take a look here. They live in Plano, Texas, absentee owner. Now, the interesting thing about absentee owners is that someone lives at this property, right? So you go to the bottom, you click on an associated people or owners and associated people, and you see these people here. Here's the owner. But you see down here, associated people, all right? These are people that receive a utility bill at the property. So if you receive a utility bill or some type of, important mail, like let's say you registered your car and your registration to this address, or even your license, your driver's license, then you are now an associated person and you live at this property. So we have Mallory and Maud, all right, and same last name. So they probably live at the property. You can always contact them. We have their contact information as well. You can convert renters into buyers. All right, guys. I mean, this is a $1,600,000 property. So you can imagine that they're probably paying, I don't know, $8,000, $10,000 in rent. and maybe they're ready to buy. All right, so go ahead and communicate with the people that live at the property. You're going to have that for every property. All right, so here's another property. All right, absentee owner who lives outside of Florida, Fort Wayne, Indiana. And then go down here in the owner and associated people. You will have the owner, but you're also going to have associated people. So we have over here Randolph, all right, with contact information, and for Mercy, contact information as well. All right, guys. So once again, absentee owners outside of Florida are almost guaranteed properties that are rented. If you go with absentee owner in Florida, maybe they're rented, but maybe the owner hasn't switched their absentee yet, right? Their absentee, their homestead exemption. Maybe the owner hasn't switched their homestead exemption. So I think that this is maybe a little less accurate. All right, so we get 27 here. Chances are they are all rented. All right, these are investments, or again, it could be that Jesse here and Mary Lou over here just hasn't switched their homestead. Okay. Now, if you go absentee corporate owned, these are most definitely investors. These are people that used their LLCs and their corporations to purchase these properties. They are not entitled to claim homestead exemption if they bought it with their company, LLCs. So again, go here and you got 111 properties that are considered investors investing in these properties, and they're either rented or they're empty, being renovated some other way. Okay, so you got your absentee owner filter. It's an excellent way for us to find what we're looking for. Now, home equity is great, but we know that if we select mortgage age down here, we can go with people that have 100% equity by doing has no mortgage. But if you wanted to say home equity, anyone with less than $100,000, in today's day and age where property values have gone up so much, you're going to say a max of 100,000. All right. We're going to have here 36 properties that have up to $100,000 in equity. And then combine that with people that have been at their property a minimum of, say, 15 years. All right. 5 owners that have been at their property for a minimum of 15 years have less than $100,000 in equity in their property. All right. So maybe we want to go after them. All right. Because they haven't really paid down their mortgage much, or they have refinanced and taken out almost 100% equity on their property, or they've refinanced and taken all of the equity of their property in their refinancing. So again, use these filters to combine and get the perfect results. The cell score feature, which I think you guys are going to love, is broken down into 3 categories. So if I tell you that someone is going to offer you leads, are you going to take it? These are free leads. Of course you are. So here we have 3 categories: low, median, and high. High always being the best. We're going to click on apply, and I'm left with 14 cell score high results. This is Remine telling you these owners have a very high probability of needing to sell the property within the next 6 months. All right. So for many different reasons, this is an algorithm put together, but it's for many different reasons. We're going to know that this property, all right, is probably going to sell within the next 6 months. So if someone's giving you a lead, then go ahead and contact the owner. All right. I mean, what do you have to lose if someone's giving you a lead? So go ahead and contact the owner. Let them know that you are the local real estate expert, that you specialize in listings, especially in single family homes, maybe luxury homes, and contact the owner and see how you can assist in selling that property. Okay. So sales score high. Sales score median goes now with probabilities up to 12 months. So when I click on apply, we've got 24 results. These are people that perhaps within the next 12 months, they may want to sell their property without them even knowing. I mean, there are several factors, whether they're facing foreclosure or they're underwater or they have zero equity on their property or they have too much equity on their property or they have a switch in the title. Maybe someone got divorced. There are many different reasons why Remine feels this way. You're basically going to just take a chance and contact these 24 owners. Let them know that you are, again, the local real estate expert and that you can assist in selling their property. Okay. I wouldn't worry too much about sales score low. This is pretty much going to be the rest of the people, 1,074. These are people that either Remine feels they're very comfortable, they have good mortgages, good interest rates, or they just bought, or they have 100% equity, and they're just not going to sell. So sales score low, just don't worry about those. You got sales score median and high. Those are the ones we want to concentrate on. Okay, so for your sales scores. Now let me go ahead and go down here. We have one here called mortgage rate. If you are interested in knowing how many people pay more than 6% interest rate on their loans, of course, interest rates have risen and they're, at over 5% nowadays. But if I click on 6% or more, I'm left with 92 owners that pay more than 6% interest rate. I can take it higher. I can go remove this 6% and go minimum 8%. Anybody paying at least 8% in interest, and there's 14 guys, including a sales score high. All right, so when you come here and you click on one of these, this is someone who's paying a high interest on their loan. Let's take a look. Click on see all. All right, we have an active mortgage at 8% interest rate. They took out this mortgage of $344,000 back in 2006. For whatever reason, they have not refinanced. They're still with that mortgage. They have a loan balance of 164, and they have a rather low monthly payment of 967. Your monthly payments are excluding taxes and insurance. These are just principal and interest. So the fact is that 8% to us right now seems a little high, but they're not really paying much interest. I mean, or they're not really paying much in monthly payments. All right. So again, this filter is really great for mortgage brokers. All right, but for realtors too. I mean, you never know when one of these people here is ready to sell because their interest rates are just too high. Okay. So take a chance on those as well. Now I'm going to switch gears real quick. I'm going to go ahead and go to listings. Let's go to listings. And we want, of course, concentrate on expired listings. So here we're going to select add filter and we're going to select status. But notice that I have a pin for status. That means I have permanently placed the status filter at the top. So we're going to click here. Where's the status? And I'm going to select expired. Right away, the expired status is now selected and a date range goes back 6 months. If I click on that and I only want to make it 3 months, then go to the calendar and say the last 3 months. And now we're going back to March 6th, being that today is June 6th. In this entire area, there are 51 expired listings. If you want to draw, Again, you're going to select an area to draw. Okay. And then you guys want to go over here and select what property type or maybe what transaction type. So you click on listing type. We're going to want to do residential sale. And we've got 4. That means that the other expired listings were leases. All right. So you select the residential sale. We've got 4 expired listings right here within the last 3 months. Click on it. And you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the homeowner name, their contact information, the ability for you to contact them via phone, via email. Of course, you can always send a mail, or you can always go knock on the door and speak to the owner. All right, owner and associated people. We've got the owners here. All right, and you want to contact the owner. Who's the actual owner of the property? Let's go up here and see who the owner is. So this is a Fannie Mae. This is a foreclosure. I picked on the wrong one. All right, picked on the wrong one. That's a Fannie Mae. I saw it when I saw mortgage association. I knew that was a bank-owned property. So let's open up another listing here that expired. All right, nice looking property. It's I picked a renovation probably, right? Yeah, this is an absentee owner property here, so it's pretty much not going to work. You're going to get an LLC or somebody. All right. Yep. You got an LLC there. And then you have the people that were associated to the property. Okay, down below. So, of course, you're going to try and look for properties that are owned by people and not an LLC, and contact them. All right, so you've got your expired listings. Of course, we can remove this rectangular shape. And the way that you do that is by looking for the filter of the rectangular shape. Remove it. And now you're looking at a larger area with more properties. If you just move somewhere else on the map, all right, you're going to get, more expireds. So as you can see here, I'm getting a whole lot of expireds everywhere in the map area. All right, those are your expired listings, guys. Don't forget to work expireds. It is a very easy way for us to get a possible listing. Switching over to properties once again. All right, notice how all the filters we were using are still here. You can always remove the filters if you want to start all over again. You should always leave the off-market filter because we don't want to bother with properties that are on the market. If you guys work condos, if you work the condo market, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to building type and select condo and then click on apply. That's going to remove all other property types. And then let's say we want to go to the beach. All right, we're going to go here. And let's say we want to do this here. All right, there are condos in this area right there. So we're going to go ahead and draw right there. And there's 1,093 condos in that little island that you see there. Okay, so you've got your condos. Start using the filters and see how many are absentee in and out of Florida. Out of 1,093 properties, we have 147 condos that are absentee owners. Guys, someone is living at this property and maybe a renter. So you want to add all of these properties to a cart, and then you want to prospect using mailers for renters. All right. So you can do that, or you can pick up the phone and start calling each and every occupant of the property and try and convert a renter into a buyer. All right. If they're paying $4,000 a month in rent, they can easily pay $4,000 a month in mortgages or in a mortgage. All right. So let's communicate with them. Of course, there are other factors to buying a home like down payments and closing costs, but still, it's a smart way for us to prospect. All right. So our absentee for condos in any area, You can pretty much go to any area you like. So let's say I want to go down here in South Beach and I want to do some of these luxury buildings down here. All right, we can get close and we can draw. All right, like this. And I want these two buildings right here. All right, so we go with that. And I've got 398 properties in those two buildings. And it's pretty much 100 South Point and 50 South Point. You can see the building details right here, or you can see all the units. View all units. Here's going to be all the units at 100 South Point, which is 243. All right. So guys, Remine is very simple to use. I'm going to go ahead and close this out here. All right. And that was for condos. It's very simple to use. I'm going to remove the condo property type. I'm going to remove the rectangular overlay, and I'm going to zoom out. I want to take a look at a larger map area. Let's move inland. Let's move back north to the Miami Shores, Biscayne Park area. Okay. And what I want to do right now is show you about foreclosures. So let's click on distress deals. And we have notice of list pendants and notice of default. These are your pre-foreclosures. Clicking on apply, I'm left with 90 results. Notice how a lot of them have a sell score high tag on them. So this is when you receive notice from the bank that a foreclosure lien has been filed against you. Why? Because you have not paid the mortgage, you fell behind on the mortgage. This is a pre-foreclosure. At this time, communicate with the owner and let them know that there are options besides losing the property. There are options like selling the property. And especially since most everyone still has equity in their property, it's not really going to hurt them. Okay? Don't let a foreclosure happen when there's still equity on the property. Either they're going to refinance their mortgage or they should sell their property. Now, when you click on a property, it's going to tell you the foreclosure details. So let's click on a property. All right, and we're going to see here the foreclosure details. So this is a notice of list pendants filed when? March 28th, 2022. All right, and then we have a case number. We have who the owners and borrowers are and who the plaintiff is as well. Okay, so again, notice of foreclosures and notice of list pendants. Those are your pre-foreclosures. If you switch over to notice of foreclosure sale and notice of trustee sale, this is when a judgment has been filed against them. That means that now they're facing possible foreclosure because they've been served with papers that says their property has an auction date and a judgment amount. So still, you want to talk to the owners and you want to see, or you want to let them know that there are options. There are many owners that are unfortunately are embarrassed to talk to maybe their own family, their own realtor friends. So maybe you have a better shot at getting a listing if you are talking to them as, you know, an outsider looking in. Now, I wouldn't approach these owners with, hey guys, I know that you're in foreclosure, let me help you out. You definitely don't want to take that route. You want to just introduce yourself as the local expert that may deal in distressed properties, and perhaps you're going to get a listing out of that. All right, guys, prospecting pretty much is you trying to build opportunities for the future. When you don't have an appointment on any given day, you should be at the office. You should be using a program like Remine to prepare for the future. You want to get multiple deals going in the future so you can get paid. All right. So using a program like this is definitely going to help you. When you click on a property, you are going to see the foreclosure details once again with the auction date and the auction amount. So for example, this property had an auction already take place on January 24th at 9 in the morning. Did it sell? No, it didn't. All right. It did not sell. We have an owner who's been in this property for 14 years. It's Flor Logo. All right. So again, communicate with Flor. It had an opportunity to foreclose on in the auction. It didn't, but there's still a lien against them. So again, talk to them before it actually does foreclose. Okay. What makes Remine's foreclosures and distress properties great is that it only gives you the last 6 months of activity. So you're not really getting something like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You're getting the most up-to-date foreclosure filings that allow you to go and speak to actual properties that are being foreclosed on or have a lien on them. All right. Something that occurred 3 years ago, 4 years ago, chances are those owners are upside down, facing maybe a short sale or a true foreclosure. So go after the most recent foreclosures with Remine using their distress deals filter. All right. One more filter that I think is interesting, however, it's not going to break the bank, and it's going to be cash deals. In any neighborhood, if you want to know who purchased in cash, zoom in. Those blue dots represent homes. You click on cash buyers, any dollar symbol that now appears on the map are people that purchase their properties in cash. All right. So you can always click on any of these properties like this, and you can find out information on that property. Once you click on it, that property will open up or not. It kicked me out. All right, not to worry. I'm going to get back to where we were. So let's try that again. All right, so let's try that. Let's try this again. I'm going to zoom in till I see blue dots. Now that I see the blue dots, we're going to click on cash buyers. All right, and then whenever you select a property, the property will be here, first on your list. So if I select another property, it's here, first on my list. These are cash buyers. All right, so you can go here and you can see how much money they owe, if they took out a loan on the property, or if it's a 100% equity on the property. So you got cash buyers. Two more filters I want to talk to you before we end the course, guys. And that one is going to be, let's remove cash buyers, CLS and RPM. These are additional commercial property filters that you will have to purchase. All right. So we're going to click on CLS, and this is commercial location score. Commercial location score is a filter that lets you see which properties fall in a very good commercial location. So if you've got someone who wants to purchase in a good commercial location, or if you're just looking for listings or possible listings in a good commercial location, you can use the commercial location score. Or you got also the RPM, which is the rent prediction model. All right, you can look up property that rents at $5 a square foot or at $30 a square foot. This again allows you to find very good opportunities for your client, or if you are a realtor prospecting for commercial. These two filters are only for commercial properties, and they're additional. So you would have to purchase those two filters. Okay. There's a whole other side to Remine, guys. Of course, that is using a class called Remine Pro, where we focus more on the listing side, how to find properties that are for sale and rent, how to save searches, how to program automatic emails to go out to our customers, how to write contracts in the document section and get them e-signed. This is truly a complete program. So if you're interested, please look at our calendar and see when we're offering Remine Pro, or you can always refer to our YouTube channel. Your Miami Trainers, I'm one of them, have a YouTube channel called Miami Trainers. From here, you guys can watch all of our videos in English and in Spanish at your own time. You can pause, you can rewind, you can forward, you can learn at your own pace. So please follow us. It's Miami Trainers inside of YouTube. All right. All right, guys. So we are now at the end of our program. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you're able to pick up a few tips for your prospecting. If you guys have any questions, my email address is robert@miamire.com. I want to share that with you in the chat, robert@miamire.com. And if you want to reach out to any of your Miami trainers, our email address is trainers@miamire.com. As a reminder, we train on everything, not just Remine. So if you guys have any questions, you can always write to your trainers. That's trainers@miamire.com. Or again, my email is robert@miamire.com. All right. I'm very glad that you enjoyed the class. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.